Empirical evidence has shown that there is a homogeneous relationship between natural resource abundance and economic growth. For very many years, oil and gas have fueled the industrial revolution and economic development of nearly every country on earth. Today, this powerful commodity has become a lifeblood of industrialized nations and arguably the world's most important source of energy. Despite the buzz surrounding oil price, the global demand remains on solid footing. Nigeria is blessed with an abundance of oil and gas resources and currently ranks as the #1 producer of oil in Africa. The huge revenue derived from oil has continued to fuel expectations of development amongst the citizenry.
Before now, we used to have lots of protests, either at oil facilities or on the road, you name it. That has dropped drastically.
For several years, the yawning gap between expectations and deliverables has fueled agitations which in turn impeded the business of oil prospecting. The desire to establish the enabling operating environment has propelled the Governor of Delta State, Senator Dr. Arthur Ifeanyi-Okowa, to evolve through the Ministry of Oil and Gas a harmonious working relationship between communities and the IOCs operating within its geographical boundaries. This was achieved by penning Global Memorandum of Understanding GMOUs with terms and conditions agreeable and acceptable to all parties, that is, the IOCs, host communities and the government in a tripartite arrangement. This move has led to lesser agitations and disruptions to oil-related activities.
We have a proper GMOU system where we work with the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General to ensure that the GMOUs are not done under duress. You are allowed to air your views, you speak up what you want, we articulate them, and we make sure that your appeals or demands are not overbearing on the companies, making them go into extinction or affecting the pump price as we have it in the public.
Based on the experience of essentially the governor as a player in Delta State governance for quite some time, he gave us a mandate to take charge of Global Memorandum of Understanding process, negotiation, as well as preparation and signing off on it. And also working then with the Ministry of Oil and Gas to ensure that parties keep to their sides of the bargain.
This pragmatic, multi-pronged approach of the state government aimed at conflict resolution, peace and confidence building is yielding results as IOCs now enjoy a much friendlier environment to carry out their work, so much so that oil companies within the state are now expanding their horizon and investments with a positive impact on the Nigerian economy.
I want to thank the chiefs, elders and leaders of the host communities, the women leaders, youth leaders, for providing the much desired conducive environment to drive this huge investment. The multiplier effect, the positive impact of such an investment on the local, state and national economy cannot be overemphasized.
We are having a very good footprint in Delta State and we have a very good cooperation from the government, and communities are very friendly in Delta State, and we have grown in a massive way last 10 years and with the support of the state government.
Right now we have a peaceful environment where contractors can work without disturbances from the community youths and all that. So youth disturbances has actually been managed by the governor.
A key component of the GMOUs is the local content clause. The clause stipulates that the IOCs will allot a certain percentage of employment quotas to members of their host communities, among other incentives, which include corporate social responsibilities, CSR. The local content clause is very important as it fills in the gaps of government's job and wealth creation drive for Deltans.
pipeline laying of this 100 kilometer and more 100 kilometer is under progress. All the contractor, all the welders, they were local, and we have taken care of local content on various level, like national level, Delta State, even the Endokwa, where nations, the contractor belongs to the locals.
His Excellency, the Governor of the state, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, has a passion to create wealth and to ensure the well-being of Deltans. And one way that is being promoted by this ministry is to ensure that the oil companies absorb a percentage of the indigenes of the host communities. That has gone a long way in reducing youth restiveness.
There are so many projects we have commissioned for this enforcement, and all the contractors, everybody that does that job, are purely the locals, those communities where those oils are found. And it has also stopped insistent blockage of oil facilities.
Sequel to this, the government, through the Ministry of Oil and Gas, sets up monitoring committee to ensure that IOCs keep to their end of the bargain. Through this committee, host communities now have a sense of belonging through the purposeful engagement of their sons and daughters as contained in the local content agreement.
Kudos to the amiable Governor Okowa. I can say even at the peak, when we're at the construction stage, we had over 130 indigenous workers. Mostly 70% are from the immediate host community. So many workers have passed through us here, unskilled, semi-skilled, and skilled workers.
It's a very good thing for Governor Okowa to allow such things to come into the state. I'm happy because I'm getting small time to feed my family and I'm not lacking anything.
Give kudos to the enabling law, Local Content Act. And then secondly, we also give kudos to the leadership of Delta State as exemplified by the Kwame himself. Policy having been formulated, the implementation stage now has also paid off.
The peaceful atmosphere upon which the oil companies now carry out their work has snowballed into high productivity, which is reflected in increased revenue. The numerous projects in the upland and riverine communities bear tales after this fact.
People have been saying there can't be blockhouse. They can't do tie road like this in a riverine area. But now we know that the structure can be put in this riverine area. With Okowa, we know that everything is possible.
We are proud of the governor that will be doing so well for the riverine communities around this area.
The governor of our dear state, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, knows what it takes to bring down tension, and that he has done in the creeks. What are those things? He has been able to move a lot of infrastructure to the creeks. He has been able to move empowerment to the creeks. He has been able to move human capital development to the creeks.
That the state is enjoying a new lease of life was attested to by none other than the governor himself. He acknowledged that with lesser agitations, the state earns more money to tackle development needs.
We have actually been in good communication with our people. We engaged all stakeholders and ensured that they came to understand the need for us to give peace a chance. And they are beginning to see a lot of things go in the proper direction, so they are happy about it. Secondly, we have also done a lot of construction of infrastructure in the various riverine areas, which has enabled them to buy into the program of peace that we have.
The state has therefore witnessed an upsurge in road construction and rehabilitation of older ones. A lot of improvement has also been seen in the building and renovations of schools, hospitals, markets, just to mention but a few, in both riverine and upland communities of the state.
His Excellency Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa believes that, yes, it is the right of the people, to enjoy the dividends of governance. We have seen changes in different sectors of the economy: education, health, agriculture, infrastructure. Talking about the road infrastructure, he's popularly referred to today as a road master.
At this present time, we have a lot of road networks within the state, and also in the health sector. The governor has actually tried a lot to improve the health of Deltans.
Also, the vision of a stronger and prosperous Delta, where Deltans would live in prosperity, is now manifesting in oil-bearing communities. The government has been able to carry out projects dear to the hearts of the people.
Now you see beautiful walkway, housing, water. The people, they are happy about this project. They should continue to do more to deliver our communities.
Before now, I stay in the city, but because of this development here, at least I moved down here. It's very comfortable. Also, people are moving from city to the village, which they don't normally do before. Many things they don't enjoy in the city, they are enjoying it here.
Coastal communities such as Ogula, Okrenkoko, Ogidigbe, Brutu, etc. can now boast of good constructed tarred roads, bridges and jetties, better equipped schools and hospitals, water and housing schemes, despite difficult and swampy terrains. All these and many more have put smiles on the faces of a once agitated people as they now enjoy a new lease of life.
I'm extremely pleased that we're able to see this kind of development in Ogula Kingdom. This, as we all know, is a kingdom that has contributed greatly to the wealth and prosperity of Nigeria because of the location of so many oil and gas assets in this neighborhood. It is also the case, and everybody knows, that this kingdom has been extremely peaceful under your reign, and that those assets have been protected for the benefit not just of Deltans but of all Nigerians.
We've been expecting this for decades of years. We have not achieved it before, but this Okowa government has made us proud. We are very, very happy for this government, for what he has done for us. You can see the road linking from Opotopo 1, Opotopo 2 to Yokri. It's a very fantastic work that Governor Okowa has done for us.
It's a big joy to the life of the riverine areas, because for the past decades, there's no governor or any administration that did meet fit. So yes, let me give roads to the riverine areas. So today, all the township road, everywhere is intact. We thank God that Ekweme is really Ekweme.
Ato Ufan Yokoa, the executive governor of Delta State, is the only person that can acknowledge the riverine area, the Ogula Kingdom. He gives us a very wonderful road. So for us, we are very happy.
Smart Delta. So boys, you get what I'm saying now, eh? Hey you, come on, wear your face mask well. You know, say you need to stay healthy to stay rugged. Hey, do you? Okay, so as I dey talk, we go bust oil pipeline, make better bar. Bagba, why your idea like that?
Don, waiting you dey say make we go do so. Now waiting boys, no they do again.
I don't understand.
Wetin Kpakpa mean be say, where there is no peace, there cannot be development. Okowa government, they develop communities for Delta State through oil and gas. Okowa don't build schools. This our community, even other communities don't still benefit. Okowa government don't build health centers. Through oil and gas, Governor Okowa don't build roads. Me and you know say Governor Okowa they use oil and gas to develop Delta State. No doubt, Governor Okowa go do more. No need for busting.
Okay, so guys, waiting. My guys no support me for this one, but no be lie you. Through oil and gas, Okowa government, they develop our communities.
Okowa government developing Delta State.
Despite the plethora of achievements in the oil and gas sectors with impactful testimonies on Delta's economy, the Okowa-led administration is not resting on its oars at ensuring the very best for Deltans at all times. Taking advantage of the huge benefits that abound in this sector, the government has taken a decision to participate in a private sector-powered modular refinery in Kwale. This refinery would not only generate revenue for the state, but would also create many more job opportunities for the teeming youths of Delta. This is in tandem with the governor's vision of job and wealth creation.
A refinery which is being established in Kwale will be of tremendous impact to the economy of the state. First, it will have a strings of job creation in those environments. Secondly, it opens up the entire space for the people. Apart from the job creation potentials, it also creates a lot of economic activities in that environment. It also attracts a lot of development in that environment. In fact, well over 99% of the entire crude is being utilized and processed for value for money. So clearly, the logistics chain is huge.
The oil and gas industry, being sensitive, capital intensive, and the backbone of Nigeria's economy, is subjected to serious regulations by governments. On account of this, Delta State government has always acted responsibly by advising players in the sector to always be up to date in documentation and in sync with global best practice, so as to avoid sanction from regulating bodies. While non-compliance is frowned at, those who do well are encouraged and commended by Delta State governments.
Accreditation. This is the one I'm very interested in. My governor is a governor who believes in something positive. We will definitely go back and report to him that Link Consult is doing something good. And I'm sure we are quite open for business to partner with somebody who will give us global standard, appreciable standard, that will give progress in the oil and gas sector.
The Delta State government is taking this step to ensure the safety of life of Deltans and the quality of training being done in the oil and gas industry, which is very, very wonderful.
As part of measures to cushion the hazardous effects of oil-related activities, the government has made it mandatory that environmental impact assessments (EIA) must be carried out before any work is done. Also, to demonstrate the government's seriousness that it means well for the people, it has made it mandatory for IOCs to own up to their responsibilities in the event of a mishap such as oil spills, and clean up the environment while coming to the aid of the people by providing palliatives to cushion the effect of such damage.
Some communities wrote a letter to government over an alleged pollution of their waterways, disrupting their aquatic life, found fishes floating all over the river and all that. They appealed to government for assistance, for cushioning the effect of hunger as it affects the citizens of this area. And that's why the governor in his own wisdom felt, though it's small, but have this to assist you. Hopefully, your aquatic life will return to normal within the shortest possible time.
His Excellency Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, the governor of Delta State, is a listening governor. This is not the first time we've done it. We've always done it. When there are fire disasters anywhere, during the flood disasters, you see the governor, through the instrumentality of the State Emergency Management Agency, come to the rescue of the people, and we try to ameliorate their situation.
First, we must appreciate His Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, for his hands of fellowship at a time where the price of goods are in a very high price, a very tempting period. His Excellency has decided to come to the aid of our communities, most of our communities who are affected by spill. We are indeed grateful.
There is obviously not denying the fact that Delta State government has played vital roles in ensuring that the IOCs work in peace. This is a win-win situation for everyone concerned. To this extent, the maxim, "one good turn deserves another," played out to its fullest. This was so as the IOCs, happy with what government has done for them, donated medicine, equipment, food and other materials to the government following the outbreak of COVID-19 to help the state increase its carrying capacity to help cater to the needs of Deltans.
At no time in our history is partnership between public and private sector so critical as now. We're handing over 1 ambulance plus ventilator, test kits, personal protective equipment, and medical consumables. We're also handing over 3 buses to support the contact tracing initiatives here in Delta State. We thank the Delta State government for the efforts in preventing the spread of coronavirus disease and for the continued support to our operations in the state.
We operate in the Niger Delta, Excellency. This is where the money comes from.
This is where we produce oil from. So it's a deliberate strategy, Excellency. We decided to seed most of these projects in the Niger Delta. Our plan is to build permanent structure in the 6 geopolitical zones, at least 2 in each of the geopolitical zones, but to particularly build additional 2 in the Niger Delta. We are here to support you. I appreciate all the things that you are doing for us in this state, for the oil and gas industry. For NMPC in particular, we have the highest number of assets in the country in this state.
We've been doing quite a lot to ensure that the oil companies in this state operate in a very peaceful environment as much as is possible. So we are happy that the oil industry is also coming in at a time of challenge. We want to appreciate you as Group Managing Director for being able to put up the various oil companies to come in support of not just the oil producing states, but in support of the entire nation, because we are very much aware that all states of the Federation are benefiting from this support facility that you've been able to bring together.
To midwife the peace between oil companies and their host communities, the government, through the Ministry of Oil and Gas, has adopted a roundtable discussion mechanism to resolve conflicts and grey areas in documents. This method has checkmated potential combustible situations before they get out of hand.
I'm very glad with the government of Dr. Ifeanyi Tokowa. Agitation will always come. Women want and it's a table. There are some things we request, and when we come to round table, we resolve. And today, the both parties are happy.
I have to first of all thank our governor and all his allies for having the interest of the people of the state by the way of having a GMOU with the company to see to the welfare of the oil producing communities. To the area of the employment, indigenous were given 70%.
Before 2015, oil production in Delta State has been very, very minimal. But since the coming of the COA regime, oil production has improved. Not because of additional wells being drilled, but simply because there is more peace. There is more proactiveness in handling matters affecting oil production.
It is also worthy of mention that the activities of the Ministry of Oil and Gas in conflict mediation and resolution is also supported by other relevant peace-building institutions set up by the Okowa-led administration. Prominent amongst others are the Peace Advocacy Committee Against Oil Facility Vandalism Council, headed by the Deputy Governor, Dickin Kingsley Burutu-Otuaro. Ever since the council was inaugurated as far back as 2016, the committee has worked tirelessly to ensure the safety of oil facilities within the state.
Our mission is to ensure that we intensify advocacy campaigns to the natives in the oil producing environment to maintain the required peace so that activities of oil and gas business can thrive. So that's just what we are out doing. And by God's grace, we've been able to talk to our people to appreciate the fact that as a government, we cannot do much without the expected revenues. And the people in the oil producing environment have actually bought into this philosophy, and by God's grace, we are having relative peace.
With both government and oil and gas companies working hand in hand to increase revenue and bring about development, Deltans are assured that the Okowa-led administration is still on course with the vision of building a stronger Delta.
The feedback segment. Question of the day.
My question is that I want to know what the government is putting in place to checkmate the illegal refining of petroleum products in Delta State.
Thank you very much for that question, Mr. Mokoko. Office of the SSG is teaming up to create a security trust fund, a security bond that will go around to mitigate against, like we call it, both fire refinery or illegal refinery and illegal bunkering and all that. They've gone a very long way. Stakes are very high for now. So in the no distant future, the issue of bunkering and all that will reduce to the barest minimum. We're also collaborating with the armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, JTF and all that, to ensure that Delta waterway security they patrol the river continuously. I'm sure in the no distant future, it will become a thing of the past.
It's important to get informed about what is going on in this state. If you're going to pass suggestions to us as government, your suggestions will be welcome. To know more about the Smart Delta team, follow Smart Delta on their various links.
Text your questions to 09016652274 or send with the hashtag #AXIT to all our social media platforms.
Better run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do. You better run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do. I see your job and work creation in Delta. Make the youth say them higher. Okowa. I see good roads everywhere in Delta. Make the people say them cola. Come live in Delta. Say me I say. Come invest in Delta. Come explore the potentials of our state.